Dear Wild Hunters friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going to test one of the most interesting slug cartridge in the market today. Is the Baschieri&Pellagri Black Shock Magnum. It's a true Magnum cartridge because the shell is 3 inches, so 76 millimeter, 40 grams of weight of the slug for 460 meters per second at the muzzle. The energy is about 431 kilograms, so we have a very interesting cartridge for big game hunting. Okay, this performance is very well balanced because through the use of a special powder, a double base powder, this cartridge has only 880 bar of pressure, so it can be used even in some old smoothbore Magnum barrel guns. Okay. What about the performance in the ballistic gel? I have made a test that I strongly suggest you to go and watch on my channel. Through the ballistic gel, we have had some very interesting performance about this Black Shock Magnum cartridge by Baschieri&Pellagri. To tell you what does it rise on this test? 3 blocks of gelatin were completely passed through, so for 105 centimeters. This is 3 feet and a half. But the most interesting part of that test was the energy transfer, because we had experienced 35 centimeters, so more than 1 feet of cavity, a huge cavity with a permanent cavity, and then we had about 15 centimeters, that's almost half a feet of temporary cavity. So this means that this slug is capable of having a great penetration, but also a great energy transfer for at least 1 feet and a half. So this is very interesting. I have already tested this cartridge in the past when it was developed about 15 years ago. It was just introduced in the market, so I made a short test on the field, and I remember that I have got 2 very big wild boars at more than 50 meters of distance. So it was very interesting, but this time I decided to give more time at this cartridge, to dedicate more time, so I want to take it on the hunting field, on Wild Boar Drive Hunting, for another test. Okay, another test that is a little bit more deeper on the field. For what it concerns the gun of this special test on the hunting field, I will use this Armson A612 smoothbore slug gun. The barrel is a 60 centimeter barrel, LPA sights, open sight kit, so very reliable, very accurate, very sturdy, especially made for wild boar hunting on drive. Okay, so now no more talking, let's go a little bit for the zeroing at the shooting range, and then immediately on the shooting range and on the hunting field. Black Shock 2. Black Shock 2. Dear friends of Wild Hunters, welcome to In the Woods. This is a medium range shooting post for our drive. The wind is blowing from this side to that side, so probably the wild boar will come from my left down in the canyon. The average shooting range is about 15 to 60 meters. There are no leaves in the trees, but there are lots of small trees, and so ideal for testing this Black Shock Magnum. I have done some tests of the penetration on the vegetation. It's one of the best of them all. So I'm very confident about this ammunition. Okay, let's see. Eccolo lì. Here it is, my big boar. It's a 250 pound. It came from the top, as I told you, and I gave him 3 shots. The first one was a little bit behind, the other 2 went very well, and he stopped right there. I couldn't turn the camera because I was busy shooting, so I couldn't, but anyway, it was a great action. grande Black Shock Magnum. Grande animale, a big animal, a true big animal. Well, a 200 plus old male wild boar with a great trophy. What a start with this Black Shock Magnum by Baschieri&Pellagri. I hit it with the first two shots, so he ran about 10 meters here, then he stopped, he collapsed here, but the dogs were coming, so I was a little bit concerned. So when he opens the mouth, I gave him a third shot in the mouth and in the throat, so he stopped immediately, so no risk for the dogs, but the animal was stopped here. So a great performance of this Super Cartridge Black Shock Magnum by Baschieri&Pellagri. I'm very satisfied, and what a start. I'm very, very happy. Let's continue. Dear Wild Hunters friends, welcome back for another drive about this test of the Baschieri&Pellagri Black Shock Magnum. My post is fantastic, medium to long shots, says 30 to 100 meters. The vegetation has already dropped down, so only some trees. Here now, in a few seconds, I will show you, I will give you a panoramic about my post. So I have a great expectation for this drive. So I hope to be able to do my really best. As you can see, this post, this vegetation, this place resembles the forest of Germany. It's very open, long shots. You can see the animal approaching the post from at least 60 to 150 meters. So I really hope to be able to see something. Down on my downside, I have a little canyon, so where it's a little bit easier to shoot. Dear friends of wild hunters and fan of the wild boar hunting, welcome to my studio. Just to make some useful conclusion for this hunting field test of this Baschieri&Pellagri Black Shock Magnum Slug Cartridge. To tell you the truth, it was a very long and very difficult season due to some extensive bad weather condition all over the 4 months season for wild boar drive hunting here in Tuscany. So I had the opportunity to shot down 5 wild boar. I was lucky enough to shoot 5 medium-sized to very big wild boar. I mean from 65 kilos up to 110 kilos wild boar. So I was very lucky. So I had the opportunity to test in the proper way this cartridge. The only problem was almost the impossibility to make some decent video footage due to the bad condition. It was almost always foggy and rainy, so it was very difficult for that. But anyway, I was able to catch at least the two biggest wild boar I've caught this year. This season I was able to make all the footage, so I'm very happy for that, but I missed 3. But anyway, let's take together some conclusion about this cartridge. So the first question is a Magnum 12 gauge cartridge really useful for wild boar hunting here in Italy, or at least in Europe, where it's permitted, obviously, the smooth bore barrel for wild boar on drive? Well, I must say that in those places where the average size of the wild boar, say in Turkey, for example, in Germany, Italy, some parts of France, some parts of Spain, this cartridge could be very useful. But in those places where the average size of the wild boar is between 30 and 50 kilos, I strongly recommend to use the Black Shock standard 70mm cartridge, because this is just too much. I don't say it's too much gun, but it's too much cartridge. Why? Because, you know, this cartridge has 40 grams slug, pushed at 460 meters per second, 432 kilogram per meter, so it's heavy recoil and very deep, too deep penetration for the average size of boar. So I have some doubts about that. The only serious thing that I have to point out is another question regarding the vegetation. If you hunt in a place where the vegetation is very thick, this cartridge and this slug can penetrate very well the vegetation and hit your wild boar and make a lot of damage. If you watch in my channel, there are some tutorials and some tests of this kind of cartridges, 12 gauge, 12 gauge Magnum, and also some carbine caliber, says 308, 3006 and so on. Bullet in the vegetation. I have made some tests on the dowel box, so I strongly recommend you to watch those videos because very interesting results. And as a matter of fact, this cartridge, the Black Shock Magnum by Baschieri&Pellagri, went straight through the vegetation, hit the target regularly, so no particular deviation on his path. So I strongly recommend this cartridge if you hunt normally in heavy ticks bush, okay? Even if you hunt for average size wild boar, this cartridge is the one for you. Otherwise, if you normally hunt in wide and clear spaces, and this cartridge can be useful only if the average size of the wild or your wild boar is very high, say from 60-70 kilos on. Even in the biggest wild boar that I have shot down, 110 kilos, this slug went through the animal, and the animal was very tough, and I hit it not in horizontal position, but in 3/4, so it penetrates all through and came out. So this means that this kind of slug and cartridge works very well on very big animals. I tell you one thing, I hunt very often in Africa, and I can tell you that this cartridge could be deadly even for a big male Cape buffalo. No problem for that. I would say that I would do it if I could be allowed to do, because this is a cartridge that can easily shot down a Cape buffalo, a big male Cape buffalo. It has all the features to do that. So I think that with the wild boar is a little bit a little bit too much. But for big boars, as in Turkey, for example, or in Germany, or some places all over Europe, where the average size of the wild boar is 70-80 kilos with 140-150 kilos big males, it will do its work, and it's very accurate. I must say, it's very, very accurate. So I strongly recommend this cartridge in heavy tick, with the heavy size, big size, heavy weight wild boar or whatever you can. You are allowed to shoot big animals, okay, big game, okay. It's not for small pigs, small and average, medium-sized pig, okay. So in that case, I strongly recommend you to use other Baschieri&Pellagri cartridges, such as the big game, the red shock, or the black shock, the trigger shock, whatever you decide to use, but not the Magnum one, okay? Thank you for your attention, and see you very soon for another hunting field test on Wild Hunters One Man Band YouTube channel.